There's a strange phase in a financial journey that nobody really talks about. It's the phase where nothing is wrong anymore. Bills are paid. There's money left at the end of the month. There's no panic, no scrambling, no urgent problem demanding your attention. And yet, something still feels off. You expect relief. You expect gratitude to be enough. You expect to feel settled. But instead, there's impatience, a quiet restlessness, almost a boredom you didn't see coming. Not because you're ungrateful, not because you want more for the wrong reasons, but because progress suddenly feels invisible. For a long time, progress had a very clear signal in my life. Low balances, tight months, that constant mental calculation of, will we make it through? Surviving the month felt like winning. Getting through without borrowing felt like progress. There was urgency, there was movement, there was pressure. Now that pressure is gone. The systems are holding. Discipline feels more automatic, and the absence of panic feels unfamiliar. Progress didn't stop. It just stopped being loud. Here's the uncomfortable truth. For a long time, panic felt like movement. Stress created momentum. Urgency created focus. Fear created action. So when fear disappears, the brain quietly asks, if nothing is wrong, why doesn't this feel better? The mistake is assuming that visible movement is the only form of progress. But stability doesn't shout. Consistency doesn't announce itself. Discipline doesn't demand attention once it becomes habit. That silence can feel like stagnation, even when it isn't. What I've noticed in this phase isn't dissatisfaction, it's impatience. We're doing well financially, just not as well as I want us to be doing yet. The bigger things still feel out of reach. A home of our own, a proper holiday, that sense of arrival. And without crisis to focus on, the mind jumps forward. Will we ever get there? Are we moving fast enough? Why does it feel like nothing is changing? The danger isn't overspending. The danger is quietly believing that boring means not working. This is where subtle temptation creeps in. Not reckless spending, not blowing everything up, just small indulgences. Things that are easy to justify, things you've wanted for a while, things that don't break the budget. And the justification sounds reasonable. We're doing well. We've been disciplined. This won't hurt. But the real driver isn't reward. It's stimulation. When progress goes quiet, the mind looks for noise. This phase tests faith differently than crisis ever did. In crisis, prayer is urgent. In pressure, trust is desperate. In lack, dependence feels obvious. But here, you're asked to stay grateful without visible breakthrough, to remain disciplined without fear, to trust God's timing without immediate reward. It's obedience without applause, faith without adrenaline. And that's harder than it sounds. Here's the realization that changed how I see this phase. Feeling nothing doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means the work is holding. Stability feels boring because chaos used to feel productive. Calm feels unfamiliar because stress used to be normal. Waiting feels uncomfortable because panic used to drive progress. But this is what real financial growth actually looks like. Quiet, uneventful, steady. This season isn't empty. It's foundational. Every month that passes without panic is proof. Every decision that doesn't need force is progress. Every act of restraint that feels automatic is growth. Movement isn't always visible, But discipline compounds whether you feel it or not. If you're in this phase, where nothing feels wrong, but nothing feels exciting either, you're not stuck. You're stabilizing. And stability is what makes everything else possible. Progress doesn't always feel like momentum. Sometimes it feels like silence. Sometimes it feels like boredom. Sometimes it feels like waiting. But this is the phase where the foundation settles. I'm JP, and I'll see you in the next one.